Hey guys, so I'm gonna get a bit personal here. I recently saw my dad for the first time in 7 years, and it scared me. He had, no friends. I asked him, don't you keep in touch with your old friends from work or new friends from work? And he was like, no. And I had overheard my mom refer to our family friends as her friends rather than her and my dad's friends. And I asked her why she said that. And she just looked at me and went, after the divorce, how many of them even stayed in touch with your dad? And that was true. And I'm starting to see young guys who seem like they're going to grow up to be a lot like my dad more and more. Do you know what group in America has the lowest suicide rate? Black women. Do you know why? Because they always report having a lot of really close friends. I think everyone is misunderstanding the male loneliness epidemic, so I want to break down what's really going on and what I've seen happening. So pre-industrial societies and even early to moderately industrial societies are extremely social. I was able to spend some time in a Costa Rican hospital that treats the indigenous population there, and those communities are nothing but relationships. I remember stopping by this little shop, and it was run by 3 generations of Costa Rican women, all working together with children playing in the front. Essentially every moment of their lives they spent with each other. I don't think any of them so much as owned a computer. Similarly, one of my college professors worked in Lebanon, and he told me that kids did not stop talking and punching and playing with each other until they went to sleep. But as soon as societies industrialized, people began to meet their needs through the marketplace or through the government, rather than their immediate friends and parents and aunts and uncles. And so suddenly, for basically the first time in human history, relationships became optional. You only spent time with people if you wanted to. But the problem in America is that we realized you have to actually want to. We spend more than double the number of hours alone than we did just 20 years ago. 1 in 10 Americans don't have any close friends at all, and that rises to 1 in 7 men. So why are men more lonely than women? Well, first, it's important to acknowledge that female loneliness is also soaring, but they haven't quite caught up to men because there's one huge advantage women have that men don't. That my mom had, that my dad didn't. That my female friends who always hang out in groups of 8, that my guy friends who spend most nights alone, not so much as even calling a friend, don't. And that's initiative. Women are far better at initiating and maintaining friendships than men are, and that's not my opinion. That's just true. Women consistently report having more close friends than men at every stage of life. And because in some ways, friendships are the most spiritual relationships we have. They're who we need most in our toughest moments. So this is why, when after a divorce, when usually most friends of the couple stay friends with the woman, it's no surprise that men commit suicide way more often, at a ratio of 9 to 1.
Shit! What happened when you got your heart broken?
I did everything but die. I thought I was dead, crying like a mother. I cried so hard I thought I was outside in the rain.
Stop. My wine, drank, my bills, paid, my kids, thriving, and my haters are mad.
A little bit of boda butt.
Stay shining, mama bears. Don't let anyone dim your spark.
Now I'ma say one thing and I'ma make myself clear, you hear me? You could come for me. You could come for my truck. You could even come after my goddamn country if that's what you want to do. God bless you, America. But the second you try and lay a finger on my kids...
So women being better at starting and maintaining friendships wasn't so relevant when everybody was literally friends with everybody every minute of the day. But now the tide of default friendship has ebbed. Now that that water has receded, we can see who's swimming naked. We can see who is only friends with the people around them because they had to be versus they chose to be. In relationships, men still depend on women for friendship. It's become a cliche that when a wife invites her friends over, their 2 husbands sort of awkwardly banter with each other.
You, sir. We're having fun tonight?
Having a great time.
Oh, good.
Thanks, yeah.
Where were you on September 11th?
No, gosh. No, stop. And wives overwhelmingly plan the vast majority of social events and get-togethers.
Hey girl, what's going on? Are we busy this weekend? No, we don't have anything going on. Bowling. Oh, with our husbands? Like you're gonna bring your husband, you want me to bring my husband so they can meet each other? Yes, my husband would love to go out. Yes, no, he doesn't have many friends, so no, that would be so much fun. It would be really, really good for him to get out and meet your husband. No, he has been asking me, yes, if I can introduce him to other, wives, husbands. No, I know. It's kind of sad that he doesn't have any friends. Yes. No, we would definitely. Bowling and dinner. Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah, no, I can see. He looks really excited right now. Yes, no. We're looking forward.
And on the flip side, we know the sometimes true stereotype of men being best friends for years and, not knowing each other's names.
So do you know where he's from?
Nah.
Do you know what school he goes to?
Nah.
What's his last name?
I don't even know, to be honest.
Bro, how do you not know, bro? I thought he was your friend.
Bro, what you talking about? That's my best friend right there, bro. On God, I would take a bullet for that man, bro.
All right, what's his birthday?
Hell no.
Bro, what kind of friendship is this, bro? How do you guys even meet?
To be honest, bro, he just spawned in my life, bro. I don't even know.
What's his gamer tag?
So because guy friendships, which can be some of the greatest things in the world, have waned, guys have become more desperate than they otherwise would to get a girlfriend. Because getting a girlfriend doesn't just mean getting to be with a pretty girl. It also means being with someone who will listen to you, talk to you, and actually invite you to go do things. This is why lately so many strippers and prostitutes report men hiring them not to have sex, but just to talk and share their feelings. Because even if guys claim otherwise, and they will claim otherwise, being listened to and understood, or even just being able to think out loud, might be the most fundamental human longing. We're all twist and turn 17 different ways in our head, and being able to vocalize that and talk that through with someone is literally the entire basis of therapy. It's one of the important components of the priesthood. We need to talk to other people, otherwise we go insane. Think about it. The most severe punishment for the most antisocial human beings is solitary confinement. That's how social we are. Chris McCandless was a radical individualist who went to live in the Alaskan woods with only bears for friends, thinking that would make him happy. A few years later, he starved to death, alone, and his very last words were carved into a book next to an abandoned school bus he lived in. It was his deathbed confession that he got life wrong. He simply wrote, "Happiness only real when shared." Everyone's talking about the gender wars, how no one's dating anymore, all this men versus women content. Well, I'll tell you what's driving that. It's me. Literally, me in particular. Sorry. My generation and the ones before us grew up with Disney and Nickelodeon movies, like Can't Hardly Wait, or Girl Next Door, or Seth Cohen in The OC, or Freddie and Carly, where a guy spends years pining after this girl he likes. The girl either doesn't know or she's dimly aware of it, but then the guy bravely confesses how much he's loved her from afar for so many years, and the girl's like, "Wow, we should start dating." That is not how relationships work. You can't like a girl enough for her to like you back. But that's what my generation was taught growing up, from the shows we watched, and also from our parents and teachers who said just be yourself and girls will like you. So then cut to high school and college, and a lot of guys realize that's not true. Their girlfriend cheats on them, or they're not even able to get a girlfriend at all, and they get angry. They say a player is a nice guy who had his heart broken one too many times. So when a guy feels like he's doing everything right, he's being nice to this girl, he's buying her flowers, he's asking her about her day, but then she cheats on him with an asshole, the guy realizes he was lied to. And that's why so many guys are attracted to the red pill content, because along with a lot of bad and untrue stuff, they do say a couple things no one else is willing to say. Like your mom's advice of just telling a girl she has really pretty eyes and being yourself won't win you a date with Livy Dunn. I knew this girl who said she was above all that. She's like, "Casey, I don't treat guys that way. I like every guy the same. I don't care about appearance or status or looks." And then we actually started dating, and this one guy had such a big crush on her. He wrote her the longest yearbook note, telling her how special she is to him, how much he means to her, how much he's liked her for so many years, and she secretly told me about it and laughed. But if this were a Disney Channel movie, she would say, "Wow, oh my gosh, you care about me so much, let's start dating." And then the red pill guys capitalize on this frustration and make these guys even more resentful. So this all climaxes in guys not being able to have a relationship with a girl, because they have this resentment towards women as a group, or specific women who have hurt them in the past. So they can't form an organic relationship with one girl. What do I mean by that? If you're constantly projecting the way all women are, you can't form a relationship with one woman, and it's the same with a guy. And it's even the same with politics. To know if you're talking with a real person and not just a Democrat or Republican or Libertarian or Marxist ideologue, that person has to be able to tell you something. One opinion, one observation that you couldn't get from just reading their political party's manifesto. And then I'll say, on the other side, a lot of girls are suspicious or resentful towards guys. Some of them have sworn off dating entirely, or they're very quick to drop a guy if he doesn't text her enough or he isn't feminist enough. As the AI Chinese Buddha says, if he wanted to, he would.
If they wanted to, they would.
So it's true, sometimes girls act very standoffish, and if a guy approaches her, she'll just laugh at him, or even worse, get creeped out. I've seen it happen. Which brings me to the meme taking over the internet, the meme about how the girl next door, your local barista, your local hostess, seems so much prettier and so much more enticing than a supermodel. A video of this girl in Alabama giving a takeout order literally got 14 million views.
Hi. Can I get a tea?
Yeah, what temp?
Extra hot.
So one of our regulars has been asking my coworker for her number, but he uses his wife's loyalty account.
These girls are pretty, yeah, but so are a lot of celebrities. The reason these girls are going viral is because they embody an approachable, non-hostile femininity. And for a lot of guys, that's become very rare. Girls are either grossed out by them or ignore them completely. I knew this girl in high school who was incredibly friendly, kind, and thoughtful to everyone she met. And because a lot of guys didn't know any girl like this, it overwhelmed them, and it ended horrifyingly. One day, one of her classmates started masturbating to her in person in their classroom. That's unbelievable. That is disgusting. And you might just say, wow, he must have been really attracted to her. Yeah, sure, but there are a lot of pretty girls. I think the bigger reason was because he felt special. He felt that she listened to him, and he had never experienced that before. My girlfriend in high school worked as a Starbucks barista, and just because she would smile and was outgoing, so many guys, including older guys, would make some very forward comments or give her a really big tip. Partly because they're bad at relationships, so they're starved for any kind of affection, and partly because guys weren't told the truth growing up about how to actually get a girlfriend. Guys have a shortage of male friendships and female affection, so when they see any, it's like offering a thirsty man in a desert a drop of water. And it also helps that most cashiers are not pretty young women. Mostly they're, you know, a bit older and very quirky.
Alrighty, is this going to be everything for you today? Cool! It looks like your total is $12.98. Would you like to donate the extra 2 cents to the dying children in Africa who have no limbs, teeth, homes, family, water that can provide them with shelter, love, and nurtureness? No? Okay. Would you like a bag for an extra 20 cents? I thought you would. Here you go.
So this is the same reason TV shows and movies always feature the girl next door as the attainable, understated love interest. She doesn't win over the lead guy by being sexier than everyone else, but by being more caring, feminine, and interested in him. It's the same reason in Bad Marriages, where the guy feels like every interaction with his wife is negative, she's always nagging him to do something. Who does he run off with? His secretary, right? Because who is his secretary? A young, feminine, understated girl next door type who's always approachable, always in a good mood, and always receptive to what he wants. So guys being so starved for affection and being so lonely is why guys will like fall in love with the first girl who smiles at them or like lightly touches their hand. Of course, we all know about those shady guy best friends who are really just hoping one day the girl realizes how special he thinks she is and falls for him. To prove this, there's a trend on TikTok where girls take their guy best friend and start to lean in to kiss him to see what he'll do. Almost every time, he kisses her back.
Come here. I need to tell you a secret.
It's nice to hear you say hello. And how are things with you? I love you. But very soon it's time.
Basically every time.
This is my best friend of 6 years. I'm going to try and kiss him.
It's really painful to watch this next one because you can see the guys wanted to kiss his girl best friend for a while, but she can barely bring herself to do it without laughing hysterically. In the other shoe, guys who have a lot of close friends, who are doing things they're passionate about, are less concerned with getting a girlfriend. And if they wanted to get a girlfriend, it'd be easy for them to do that because they're impressive. They're doing things they're passionate about. I've known a lot of actors in my time, and just being an actor, not even if you're a successful one, but having that passion, having that starving artist persona, girls would definitely get excited about. Girls want a guy who has an exciting life already that she can be part of, not a guy who has an empty life that he wants to fill with a girlfriend. So, all this to say, it's so sad to see how much male friendship has declined, because male friendship can be some of the highest connections human beings can share. So why do we treat friendship like it's the most marginal kind of relationship? Well, C.S. Lewis tackled this question. He said it's because most people don't actually experience friendship. They have people they would call friends, but those are mere acquaintances that they share activities with. As soon as the activity disappears, so does the friendship. Another reason we don't take friendship seriously enough is because whenever two guys get really close, what? They're called gay. But calling a really close male friendship gay is extremely revealing because it demonstrates the person who levies it has never experienced true friendship. Because anyone who has experienced true friendship and being in romantic, sexual love knows how different they are. Lovers talk incessantly about their love, how much they love each other. Friends hardly discuss their friendship. Lovers talk incessantly about the other person, while friends talk about their shared passions. Think about it this way. The characteristic posture of lovers is face to face. For friends, it's side by side, looking at the world together. The modern suspicion of friendship as closeted homosexuality, the modern indifference to it shown by nearly everyone, the possibility of living your whole life having never experienced true friendship, and the immense prestige friendship used to enjoy that is now lost are not unrelated phenomena. They all spring from one fact. The fact that friendship is the least natural kind of love. Nothing about it quickens your pulse or sends butterflies flying into your stomach. Unlike romantic or paternal love, friendship is not necessary for human survival. Sexual and paternal love are so obviously connected with the body and so closely linked with biological necessity that in them, one almost feels that nature is pulling the strings and we're the puppets. In friendship, on the other hand, we have the feeling, whether true or not, of being free from all that. Hence, Lewis writes, of all the loves, friendship alone seemed to our ancestors to raise us to the level of the gods or the angels. What we call friends today are usually acquaintances, someone you spend time with out of convenience. You'll be friends as long as you both attend the same backgammon club. But a true friend, it defies circumstance. It's someone you're interested in being friends with not because of how funny they are or because of how good they are at backgammon, but because of their deepest hopes, desires, and worldview. The parts of them that are essential to them. Their individual being that you couldn't replicate in anyone else. As Montaigne said, if you asked me why my best friend is my best friend, I would respond, it is because he is he, and because I am I. And with a friend like that, honestly, who needs a girlfriend? I'm kidding, of course, not really. I've had girlfriends, and I've had really close friends. And there's just no comparison. Girlfriends, you're awesome. If we've dated before and you're watching this video, we had some great times. But true friendship is a spiritual experience. And it's so sad to see when a man gets divorced and he loses not only his wife, but his kids, and everyone he thought was his friend in his life that turns out to have been an acquaintance to him, but a friend to his wife.
Throw me to the wolves, and I'll come back the leader of the pack. To the waitress at Applebee's. Tips are earned, not guaranteed. If anyone can write me letters of support to the court claiming that I'm not crazy, it would really go a long way. Message me. If there's one thing about me, it's that I'm not to be fucked with! My ex-wife has people following me. I know it. I will be reporting this to the police. The devil whispered in my ear that I'm not strong enough to withstand the storm. Today I whispered in the devil's ear, I am the storm. seeking legal counsel for the spies my ex-wife has sent after me. Inbox me if you can help. You don't want to see my dark side. That's when the demons come out to play. I believe my ex-wife has hacked my AOL account. I will be contacting the proper authorities. The best revenge isn't success. It's the silence she hears whenever she realizes what she threw away. The judge may have signed a paper, but he didn't sign my death warrant. I'm coming back stronger than ever.
One of the things I really love about getting a divorce is finding out how many of my male friends had no idea I was even married. I love that, because nothing feels better than getting a text from fellas you see every weekend that says, "Dang bro, didn't know you had a wife." Really, Travis? Because you were one of my groomsmen. Oh, I thought that was a bar mitzvah. Yeah, I'm not Jewish or 13 years old. Do you know anything about me? My boxers gave me more support than this briefing. And we wonder why there's a male loneliness epidemic and dudes are dropping like calls when we can't even pick up the phone. And it's not our fault. Our dads never asked how we are, so we don't know how we are. All because our dads thought that sadness might mean you like men, we refresh our banking app all day and doom scroll Instagram models. We can't think about our feelings, so we distract ourselves with thoughts. And some of these guys have the dumbest suggestions, bro. They'll be like, "You'll be all right, dude. Just lay pipe on a few chicks and you'll forget all about Katie." Yeah, well, that's not her name. So thanks. Way to trivialize someone I was in a relationship with since back before I had my last passport photo. That doesn't make me feel worse. It just sucks. Because the one friend who used to not make me feel so alone is the one I'm getting divorced from. That's why I used to hang out with her and not you.
Armadillos keep digging little holes in my backyard, and every time I'm barefoot, it may.
If you pursue real friendships about things you're passionate about and make friends with people who are passionate about them too, you'll be living such an interesting life and you'll become such an interesting person that it'll be easy for you to get a girlfriend without having to play some Machiavellian long game where you're friends with her for 4 years and then you finally look at her and say, "The girl I have a crush on is a girl you know really, really well."
Have you seen this meme? It's so funny. I'm gonna send it to you on Instagram. You have to watch it.
Oh, I have some news for you, by the way.
Yeah, what?
I have a crush.
What? Shut up! Wait, I need to hear everything about this. You have a crush! Who? Tell me everything. What's her name? I'm gonna stalk her. What's her name?
Well, you actually know her really well.
I know her! Oh my, okay, who's it? Is it Stacey?
No.
Is it Rebecca?
No.
Oh my god, it's Katie, isn't it?
No.
Oh my god, wait. Is it Emily?
No, you know her better than all of them.
Really? Because Emily's my best friend. Like, what do you mean?
You know her better than all of them.
Oh. You know, I love this pillow so much. I literally, when you bought this, I just knew it would be my favorite pillow. Like, I just so nice. It's just so soft.
I knew you'd like that pillow.
Yeah. You know, I never told you how much I appreciate our friendship. Like, I'm just so happy to have someone who is like my older brother. Like, you know, I don't know what I would have done without you through those breakups, you know, like.
What do you mean, brother?
You know, like, you're like my older brother. Like, seriously, thank you. So
What you about to do today?
I'm about to go chill with my boyfriend.
Oh my fucking god.
It's like bad cold outside.
You want my hoodie?
My boyfriend said he can't see me today.
Damn, he said that. So like, you know, we've been best friends for like a little while now. I'm not gonna lie, I think I seen your boyfriend in the club the other night. So you think like I could maybe take you like on a date on some cool shit?
I have a boyfriend, bro.
No, like just like a friend date.
My man be taking mad long to answer my text messages.
You see, I be responding to your shit in a heartbeat.
You don't believe his stories. You know that they're all lies.
If you ever need anything, like, you know, I got you, right?
My man literally won't stop liking other bitches' shit.
Nah,
on Instagram,
what?
bro.
Nah, why would he do that? You deserve better than that.
But with your man, baby, you never worry about what I do.
You don't ever think that, you know, we could maybe be, you know, like a little more than just friends?
Do you think my hair looks good like this?
You look beautiful.
I miss my boyfriend so much.
Bro, you don't need that nigga.
I be coming home back to you every night, doing you right.
I'm gonna break up with this nigga.
You for real?
So I have great news.
What is it?
I'm not breaking up with him anymore.
A good test for a friendship is if you can be canceled. If you have a true friend, people could be gossiping about you. People could be trying to cancel you. You could make a really big mistake, and that wouldn't jeopardize your friendship. But if they care more what strangers say about you than you, the person they know, you're not exactly Damon and Pythias. And again, all this is much likely to end up giving you a girlfriend than breaking your face bones so you seem slightly more attractive. What's so funny about Clavicular is he is extremely insecure. Watch how he responds when someone says his new nose job made him look worse.
You and everyone in the chat, you're yeah, look at these copers, bro. They don't know. They don't know. I'm mogging hard, dude. I'm mogging hard. You look too feminine now. What the fuck?
Some are saying he looks worse than before, with young Sheldon even getting in on it and saying he mogs Clav.
Clavicular often actually gets rejected by girls on live streams because his insecurity is palpable.
Clavicular keeps getting rejected. His latest stream saw him going to Paris, however, it seems the City of Love is not too fond of the looks maxer. Not only is every single woman ignoring him, but local citizens are just not flocking to him in the same way Americans seem to.
Does he also get with a lot of girls because he's attractive? Yes, I mean, just being attractive in general makes more people like you.
What would happen if we took two women, one who was conventionally unattractive and one who was conventionally attractive, and left them both in the street with flat tires? Well, they already did this exact experiment. They took two girls, Nicole, your conventional blonde, that's what she looks like up close, and Joanne, your stereotypical Glee Club gal, and they threw them both on the street, both paid actors. For Nicole, it only took 2 minutes before some dude stopped and helped her, and 4 other people helped her within 30 minutes too. Meanwhile, for Joanne, our unconventionally attractive girl, people were 3 times less likely to help her and simply walked by her like she didn't exist. And these kinds of studies don't just extend to girls. Guys struggle with it too. Stu is a 5'2" man in this dating experiment, and he could not get the attention of a single woman, no matter how rich he was.
Also, something else about the clavicular lifestyle is clavicular is so depressed. Psychologically, if you think about yourself, let alone your insecurities, that is functionally, like in the brain, in psychologist experiments, indistinguishable from being depressed. Clavicular thinks about how he looks all day and how bad he looks all day because he wants to look better. It's basically like he's injecting anti-Prozac into his veins. But what's even more powerful than being attractive, especially for a guy, is being confident, is being able to walk up to a girl, ask her out, and not be fazed no matter what she says, because your sense of self-worth doesn't depend on whether one girl wants to go on a date with you.
Everyone responds to insecurity in that healthy way. There's a new generation that is led by influencers like Braden Peters, and they're making the opposite choice. And I think this is where Braden deserves compassion, because he is still operating inside the mindset of those early shame-filled years. Braden had the internet, a place that told him that if you become attractive enough, all your problems will be solved.
Nobody's born with shame. The child can believe there's something wrong with me, and maybe if I can work hard enough, or look good enough, I can fix it.
Bryan Cranston talks about the day his entire acting career changed. He used to go into an audition wanting to book the job, wanting to please the casting directors. Then one day, he realized, Bryan, you're an actor. You're providing a service. You're providing a solution to the casting director's problem. They need to fill a role. I'm giving them something of value. If it's a fit, they'll take me, and if not, I'll bring my solution to a different problem.
About 18 years ago, I had this cognition that I realized I was going into auditions trying to get a job. And that simply wasn't what I was doing. It wasn't what I'm supposed to be doing. An actor is supposed to create a compelling, interesting character that serves the text. You present it in the environment where your audition happens. And then you walk away, and that's it. Everything else is out of your control, so don't even think of it. Don't focus on that. You're not going there to get a job. You're going there to present what you do. You act, and there it is, and walk away. And there's power in that, and there's confidence in that. And it's also saying, I can only do so much. And then the decision of who might get a job is so out of your control that it really, when you analyze it, it makes no sense to hold on to that. That, to me, was a breakthrough. And once I adapted that philosophy, I never looked back, and I've never been busier in my life.
I first realized what Bryan Cranston was talking about in my freshman year of college. I realized how terrified I was to just walk up to a girl and ask her out. So when I was on a road trip with my a cappella group, and I saw a pretty girl walk by and I didn't go up to her, I felt so disappointed in myself. How am I idolizing this stranger so much? How am I thinking so low of myself that I refuse to even go up to her and say she's pretty? And then the absolute worst thing happened next. The girl came back. At this point, there were no excuses. I knew I had to walk up to her or I would know just how much of a coward I was. The idea of walking up to her as a complete stranger was terrifying, but I was even more scared of not doing it. So I sat there squirming in my seat, trying to work up the courage as the rest of my a cappella group had no idea why I was acting so weird. Finally, I used an old trick that I would use to get out of my OCD perseverations. I set a timer for 10 minutes, and I decided that before that timer ran out, I had to go up to that girl and ask for her Instagram. 1 minute passed. I didn't move. 3 minutes passed. I didn't move. 9 minutes passed. I hadn't moved. 9.5 minutes passed, and I hadn't done anything. Finally, 20 seconds left. I stand up and walk over to her. I'm about 20 feet away. 10 seconds left. I take a few steps forward. 5 seconds left. I just start running, and finally I walk up to her, fucking tripping over myself, completely out of breath, and I basically blurt out, "Hi there, I'm Casey. I think you're pretty." It was even more awkward than it sounds. She looks at me, looks at her friend, and they both just start laughing. But they weren't even laughing in a mean way. They were sort of laughing in an endearing way, like, "Aw, how cute," which is, of course, not the reaction that I would have loved. She looked at me and said she had a boyfriend and walked away. And as she walked away, I took my fist and pumped it in the air. I started jumping and dancing in the street. I almost ran into a few people because I did it. I didn't care if she said yes or no. I cared that I wasn't a coward to not go up to a girl and be able to say a basic sentence to her. I did it myself. I didn't send a go-between. One episode of Nikki, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn, one of the guest stars had a crush on Dawn, Lizzie Green, and he asked me, who played her twin brother in the show, to go up to her and ask her out for him. And do you want to know the worst part? I did! I go up to her, I'm like, "Hey Lizzie, how's it going? Good work on set this week." She's like, "Yeah, good week." I'm like, "Hey Lizzie, would you like to go on a date?" She's like, "With you?" I'm like, "No." No, it's weirder than that. "Would you like to go on a date with someone who's not me? I'm asking you on a date to go on a date with someone else." He went on to start another TV show, but I'm like, "Do you want to go out with him?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't think so." And I walked away, and I did not want to go back to set the next day. So, I am so grateful to my genuine male friends. And you know what? If you and your male best friends don't get called gay sometimes, are you really that close? But an added bonus of having real friends you can actually talk to about, believe it or not, your hopes and dreams and feelings. But also, a friendship that you can really talk about what guys are so good at talking about. Philosophy and geopolitics and the Roman Empire. You start talking to someone else so unfiltered and so openly, you'll become more verbally dexterous. And girls like a guy who's witty and intelligent, not in a vacuum necessarily. Meeting girls at a Dyson or a Hoover is not recommended, but because you can use that wit and intelligence to charm her. I've been on a lot of dates, and oftentimes I have to carry the conversation, and if I don't, it'll just peter out and she'll start talking to like the Baskin-Robbins employee. The most boring people are people with nothing to say. No passions, no opinions, they're just passive receptacles for everybody else's hopes and dreams. They're not the captain of their own ship, so inevitably, they're a crew member on someone else's ship. Friendship allows you to explore the world together, to meet someone who sees the world like you do, but from a slightly different angle. You can compare notes and discover the truth together. What is more exciting than that? This is why friendship has always threatened the powerful. This is why schools are trying to ban best friends, because when you're in a true friendship, your friend's opinion will matter more to you than the president or the principal or your teacher or the opinion of 10,000 strangers. You could have 10,000 people trying to cancel you, but as long as your friend doesn't think you did anything wrong, you won't think you did either. So if you're ever trying to do something really cowardly, it'll become so much easier if you find 3 like-minded cowards and you all shirk your duty together. If everybody else is academically honest and you're cheating on a test, you have to be pretty brave. But if like 5 of your closest friends are all cheating on a test, it almost takes more more bravery for you to not cheat. But now this is fascinating. A girl gave her take on why she thinks male friendships, when they do form, outlast female friendships. And it's not an answer I was expecting.
I think men friendships last longer because they just accept that their friends are bullshitters, bums, molesters, cheaters, etc., etc.
Shawty, do you think my friends are the Sinister Six? I'm hanging out with Dr. Doom?
My best friend is the Joker?
Shawty, sorry to break it to you, but if you think we're out here hanging out with
Fucking Diddy?
I just can't get over this. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but
I do not hang with the Reverse Flash. That's just not my cup of tea.
Hey man, speak for yourself. Me and Eobard Thawne are thick as thieves. I actually wrote that as a joke, but then I realized I'd actually met him. So yeah, me and Eobard Thawne, the best of friends. And remember how I mentioned that all close male friendships are written off as gay? Well, this video has 2.4 million likes. He's thinking, I was supposed to be in that dress. Okay, you know, it's pretty anti-gay to say every expression of male camaraderie and affection is inherently homosexual. It's so funny because so often the same group of people who say guys should open up more, guys should cry more, guys should be more feminine in expressing their feelings, as soon as they do, say, oh, you must be a gay.
I don't want to shoot any shots, but girls seem to think, a lot of girls seem to think, boys' friendship groups have a leader. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been seeing it's a trend on TikTok at the moment, which made me remember it. But first, okay, there's different roles in a male friendship group. And this is pretty much, I reckon, most friendship groups.
Like most male?
Yeah, most male
here.
Okay. Yeah. First kind of person in the group is the victim.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is the person who, you don't want to be the victim.
No, you don't. Your life's hell.
The next person, the instigator.
Okay, yes.
The mean one.
Oh, yeah.
Next one, the joker.
The joker, okay.
Is normally in a friendship group, 1 to 3 kind of guys, and they just bounce. The next one is the glue guy. So,
Glue guy.
The friendship group works fine without them, but when they're there, chemistry's just fucking through the roof. Like, the group's just fucking, everyone's there, this is the best fucking day ever, whatever we're doing, you know? Next one, the motivator.
The motivator.
This is the dad friend of the group. Next one. This one is, our group doesn't particularly have one too much, but there is in it the whore of the group. Everyone goes through their stages. It does rotate.
Yes.
But you need to lie to yourself if you're saying there isn't one.
Someone said the victim of the friend group is always there. If your regular victim isn't around, they move to the next in line. But on the other hand, the victim of the friend group is always the one most protected from outsiders. That's true.
Date!
This is the English grass whistle.
Hey, you're gonna wake the others.
I'm with all the grown men in the corn.
For any girls who don't know what a guy friendship consists of, I'm going to explain to you what mine are like. I'm down in Atlanta right now visiting a friend, and I would say that our friendship is like relatively deep compared to some of my other close friends. But I was thinking about how we just talk to one another like throughout the last 24 hours. Our entire friendship is just built on us spamming the exact same jokes on repeat and saying nonsensical words to each other. And the best part about it, it gets funnier every single time. Like, I've been here for the last like 3-ish days. My friend and I have said the word bot loot probably thousands of times. Like, it's sort of a reference to Fortnite, but it actually just makes no sense. And yet I know that if I walked into his apartment right now and just said bot loot, he would die laughing. And I'm laughing right now thinking about it. And that's about the whole extent of our friendship. Like, yeah, maybe once every couple months we'll like see how each other are doing. But for the most part, it's just like, bot loot can't be good for our brain cells. Like, we definitely lose brain cells being around each other.
Someone really liked that. They said, this is the realest thing I've ever seen. Their over-the-top reaction reminds me of this TikTok that I think about like every Wednesday night.
Level up. Can I see you as my crush? I will not judge. Teddy for I don't want love.
I love that video. And so I will acknowledge not every guy-girl friendship is just the guy crushing on the girl.
And the worst part is that like the guys are like, oh, they just want you. No, they don't. They want my friends. He don't want me. He would sell me for a hot dog and a bag of chips.
And a lot of male friendship is just making jokes and punching each other in the face, not just sharing your deepest feelings. And that's awesome. That's a really important part of guy friendships.
Male friendships are confusing to understand. Someone will be like, who's that guy you were really friendly to? And you'll be like, oh, a very loose acquaintance. Then they ask, who was that guy you punched as hard as you could in the face and called the Goblin? And you have to be like, my best friend since 3rd grade.
But I humbly submit that we should also know, like, if your friend's brother's in jail.
Any chance your brother can pick us up from the bar later?
He's in jail, bro.
Ah.
Oh, bro, do you want to go Shake Shack?
I'm sick of that place, mate. I've been working there for 7 years.
I didn't know you worked there. Bro, are you okay?
Actually not, man. Like, I feel like my life's falling apart. I just lost my job, my boyfriend
No,
just
like
cheated.
last night, you drank so much. I'm surprised you're like functioning right now. You're not having like migraines or something.
yeah.
That was crazy.
Last night was crazy.
And now I'm also going to say all the problems I've mentioned are exacerbated because there's a certain slice of the internet that is very, very unsympathetic to any kind of male struggle. That video has over 1 million likes. And look, are there some guys who treat women really badly? Yeah. Are there some guys who use being rejected by a girl once to denounce all girls? Yes. But there are also a lot of guys who are just struggling. It's always so funny to me that the same people who attack honestly timid guys who can't get a girlfriend or even a male friend are such big fans of Vincent van Gogh, who we all learned about so sympathetically in school, even though Vincent van Gogh couldn't get a male friend and was the ultimate incel, agonizing his entire life before he finally ended it. So this is the truth about the male loneliness epidemic. However, it's important to remember girls are reporting a lot of loneliness too. So if you're a guy or a girl, go ask someone out. Go ask someone to be your friend. Start a club. Don't just scroll all day because no wise person has ever sounded like this.
If you can't figure out what to do with your life, just scroll and watch Reels.
Watching Reels will help you figure out what you want to be in life.
Achieving your dreams could be just one scroll away.
You have to keep watching Reels like your life depends on it.
We're the only people in existence who can watch Reels. It's fucking amazing.
I'll respond to every comment because I'm really excited to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. I talked about a lot of really controversial things and a lot of theses that I think aren't getting talked about enough. So, what do you think? I'll also go discuss it on Patreon now. So, special thanks to our patrons, Bobby Rick, Keaton Sheagley, Aaliyah, Go Back, Avery, Gerard, Lavender, Wendy, Sam, Caroline, Alex, Planet, Greb, Zach, Austin, Coco, Drake, C, Jenny, Bess, Michael, Chase, Sally, Jamie, Thunder, Kelly, Dylan, Brett, Ari, V, Guy, Bondos, Len, Edang, Job, Angel, Rachel, Kiana, Ariel, Viper, Ava, Alex, Comfort, Puffy, Marshall, and welcome to our newest patron, Christina Chalfont. I love the alliteration. Welcome to you, Christina. I'm gonna head over and talk to you now over on Patreon.